Good morning, believers. Good morning. It's your brother, J.D. Nija. Word of Truth with J.D. Nija. Coffee with J.D. Nija. Huntington Pier. 2 to 3 foot out of the southwest. Fair to good shape. Water 62, air 64. All right. All praises, honor, and glory to the Most High, the only begotten Son, and the Ruach, the Holy Spirit. Yahweh, Jesus Christos, Yahshua, and the Ruach HaKodesh, or the Ruach, the Holy Spirit, gives us this power, wisdom, knowledge, ability, and strength to push out these biblical truths in these perilous, dangerous times we live in. So I just wanted to hit on, before I get started, I want to clarify some things, because obviously there's people that are going into hardcore racial hatred mode. I don't know how real that shooting was. I'm not going to assume that I know anything about it, other than that they're saying that this 18-year-old guy went in the market and killed 10 black people, Negroes. And so what I wanted to say on this is that, you know, I've been a hateful person at some times in my life. I was a punk rocker at one time, and a lot of the punk rock mentality was, not originally, but as time went on, it turned into a white supremacist type mentality. So I came out of that and realized that I can't live my life standing up for something that I don't really believe in. So once I started following the Lord more closely, I started to see people not only for what I could do for them, or they could do for me, but then I started to realize you have to judge people on how they act, not the color of their skin. And, you know, I don't like the way Asians drive. Anyone that's a good driver will know that a lot of Asian people drive differently. They don't drive, I don't even know how to say it. I don't want to pontificate on the style, but the style is not like most people. So in driving, I don't like Asians, but other than that, I love their food. They're mostly sweet people. Mexican people, hardworking. I mean, Mexican people can be, I mean, I'm not going to go into all the types of things that I like and don't like about certain types of people, because certain types of people have certain characteristics, and certain things about white people I don't like. Quite a few things. But the point I'm trying to make is I'm not racist against any particular people. I hate everyone. No, I hate people for being unrighteous. I hate people for not being a little smarter, or thinking things through. Those are the things that I really dislike people for. And so when I say I don't like GMS, and I say things about them, I'm not going to use that word anymore, because they're going to throw me in jail for just using verbiage. And it's like, I don't mean it by black people alone. Elvis Costello probably said it best when he said little white little white nigga. But yeah, I just wanted to get that out and say I don't have anything that I don't like GMS because they're pushing racist ideology. They don't need to keep saying that they hate white people. We know they hate white people, and that's just wrong. So anyway, I don't know what happened to me yesterday. I went to church. I went with a girlfriend of mine, and her and her friend took off, stood me up. I had to split. And then I went and had a couple beers, watched the end of the basketball game. And then I went and had some nice pasta. And there was something that came up in church yesterday that I thought was really interesting, and I wanted to look into it. So I did, and I ended up going down to Bolsa Chica and doing a message on it, and it was a really powerful message, but I was way too angry. I know I was hitting on the points, and I know I made my made my point about the issue, but I don't want to come off as crazy, and I mean, I could probably come off crazy enough sometimes, so I'm going to redo it and see if I can. The spirit was on me, but I don't want to do that. So we gotta be really aware now of what's going on out there. People are having spirits on them, murderous, angry, sick, brutally sick, murderous spirits. And I would say GMS needs to change their angle a little bit, because from what I can tell, they're stirring up the pot on this little race war that's getting going. It's between them and the powers that be, and then the Lord doing whatever he's doing. We are looking at a time when people need to calm their asses down. Jiminy Cricket. So that's another reason why I didn't want to put up that video yesterday, because I don't want to foment this hatred that's out here. As believers, we need to show restraint. We need to show wisdom. We need to show love, understanding, focus. We need to focus. How did this kid get a hold of guns after he had been already identified as someone who had mental deficiencies just a year before? And it might have something to do with his age. Maybe he wasn't old enough to be surveilled or the system to prevail against his psychosis or whatever. But we don't know what this potion did to people. And what we might be seeing is a personal portal opening up in people, because from what I understand is they have some of this gene splicing technology can be detrimental to people in a lot of different ways, and I'm hoping that the Lord is going to protect his people. But anyhow, so the part that my Sakya, that my pastor brought up was about when the Israelites crossed the Jordan in Joshua. I not exactly, I didn't read completely into what was going on right here, because Joshua is one of those books that I'm not super familiar with, and I'll admit it right now. I need to dig into Joshua a little more. So this is the two spies. They enter the land. It was Caleb and who was the other one? Anyhow, I'm not going to go into all that. It was Caleb and who was that other guy? Anyhow, I'm not completely focused this morning. I woke up a little off, so I'm just going to go to where I did the message yesterday, because I don't want to confuse the situation. The spies report to Joshua. So the two men returned. Of course it's going to say the two men. Anyway, if you know who they are, you know who they are. If not, you can look them up. I'm not going to go back. So the two men returned and descended from the mountain and passed over and came to Joshua, son of Nun. So there we have, again, son of Nun. Is Yeshua, the son of Nun, the same as Josiah, the son of Nun, the son of Zephaniah? Nun, hand. I'm not going to go into that. That's something that I'm just pondering. And told him all the things that befell them. They said unto Joshua, truly the Lord has delivered into our hands all the land, for even the inhabitants of the country do faint because of us. So at this point, they have the Ark of the Covenant, and that's a precursor to the mercy seat, where Hamashiach rose out of that sepulcher, the place where he laid down, and they came in, they saw the two angels at each end. The furniture, the ark, was that same. It was a representation. It was a wooden representation, and they put the tablets in there. So they have the ark, and that's where the power is. The power is with Yahushua HaMashiach, or Jesus Christ, right? So it says, and Joshua, this is preparing to cross the Jordan. And Joshua rose early in the morning, and they removed from Shittim and came to Jordan, and all the children of Israel lodged there before they passed over. And it came to pass, after 3 days, there's that 3 days again. In 3 days he will rise, right? Jonah, 3 days in the belly of the whale. And the officers went through the host, and they commanded the people, saying, when you see the ark of the covenant of the Lord your God, and the priests, the Levites, bearing it, then you shall remove from your place and go after it. So he's saying, when you see them carrying the ark, follow them. And there shall be a space between you and it, about 2,000 cubits by measure. Come not near unto it, that ye may know the way by which you must go, for you have not passed this way heretofore. So what's he saying? He's saying, we're going somewhere. This is a spiritual place that we're going. It's like when the Lord said to the Pharisees, you can't come this way because you know not where I'm going, and you're not going to be able to find it because you're wicked. So what he's saying to the people is, we're going somewhere, and you don't know because you've never been there yet, but we're going someplace special. Just stay back and follow, right? So when we think of that what he's saying there, he's saying to us, these priests, these Levites that have the Ark of the Covenant, they have the power in their hands. They're carrying the power, and the power is leading them, right? So the point I was yelling about yesterday was that as a priest, as a Levite, as a Benjamite of the southern tribe, Judah, that there's some of us that are leading the way. And I was getting really rambunctious about it because I believe it to be true. And so when I do these messages, I am saying the same thing. Stay back, watch carefully, and follow. Because you don't know where I'm taking you, because these are places that only the Lord can guide us to, right? And yesterday I was saying the same thing, but with much more colorful language, you might say. But know that I'm not bullshitting around. And Joshua said unto the people, sanctify yourselves, for tomorrow the Lord will do wonders among you. So that's where I started getting really rambunctious when I read that. I'm like, all right, man, he's getting ready to do some crazy things on this earth. This fishbowl that we live in, this snow globe, he's got control over everything, and we got to a certain extent, stand back and let him do his work, right? And that's why I had that lesson of last week, or however many weeks ago. GMS, let the priests do their work. See, what they're doing is they're actually muddying the waters, and they're causing spiritual rifts by claiming all kinds of nonsense that they have no right to claim. And they're basically devils pretending to be angels of light, but they're actually probably Edomites of some kind. There's some kind of wickedness going on there, and they're top level, because we know that these Pharisees and Sadducees back in the day were probably of that personage. I'm not going to say it because I'm not sure. I'm just saying that it seems to be so. If Yahushua and the Jews were similar, and they killed their own, then that's what they're doing now. They're doing the same thing. So verse 6 of Joshua 2, if you're following along. No, now we're in 3. Or we've been in 3 the whole time, Salakia. 3:6. And Joshua spoke unto the priests, saying, take up the ark of the covenant and pass over before the people. And they took up the ark of the covenant and went before the people. So they're leading the way. Verse 7, and the Lord said unto Joshua, this day will I begin to magnify you in the sight of all Israel, that they may know that as I was with Moses, so I will be with you. So this is an example of in the priestly line, in the angelic first fruits line, there are people that are going to be magnified. And so yesterday I was on a roll, and I'm saying, I know at some point, and it's probably at that point already, it just isn't evident to everyone. The Lord's saying, dude, I'm going to magnify you, so get ready. And I'm like, okay. And you shall command the priests that bear the ark of the covenant, saying, when you are come to the brink of the water of Jordan, you shall stand still in Jordan. So when they come to the edge of the water, halt, stop, drop, and roll, or whatever. Know that you got to stand still and just wait, right? And Joshua said unto the children of Israel, come hither and hear the words of the Lord your God. So they all gathered together, and Joshua said, hereby you shall know that the living God is among you, and that he will without fail drive out from before you the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Hivites, the Perizzites, the Girgashites, the Amorites, and the Jebusites. So this was before they went into these lands. They were going to conquer these people, right? These heathens. Just know that you're going to conquer these heathens. So listen, you are going to do it. Don't be afraid. So, and then it goes all the way, this promise goes all the way to the point where David took all these people and had them under submission, right? And made them pay tribute. Everyone's peeling out because the guy's collecting the money. I don't know if he's going to try and ticket me or not, but anyway, I'm going to keep going. I think they're just collecting the money right now. I don't think they're writing tickets. So this is a precursor to when David brings these heathens under the rule of Israel, of Judah. And this is saying you are going to be leaders of, you're going to tell these people how it is. And so as a Israelite of Judah, of Benjamin, of the southern tribe, I know that I am going to be able to subdue these people, and they're going to pay tribute, but I'm going to rule, or we are going to rule the people, my people, the first fruits are going to rule these people with love and with consideration and with understanding. We're going to teach them our ways, right? So this is where GMS is like completely bugged out and off course. They're like, no, we're going to kill your children. We're going to hang you from trees like you did to us. And whatever, you dummies. You guys are just out of control. If you're think you're going into the kingdom with that attitude, you really are some bugged out personages. Let me see how much time I got. 22. So this is going to be another 2-part message. Man, I was raging on this one yesterday because this is where I get agitated, because this is important stuff. This is like telling you a big part of the story. It's not pretty. It's not pretty because everyone has to realize where they're standing. And if you don't know where you're standing and you fight against this, you're going to get your legs cut out from under you. You're going to stumble, bumble, and you're going to be humbled. And it says, verse 11, behold, the ark of the covenant of the Lord of all the earth. It's not talking about the universe. He never says universe, ever. There is no such thing as a universe. It's the earth. Anyhow. Let me get back to I think I did a good enough flat earth thing yesterday. It's like, come on, people. How many times does it have to say firm, solid, immovable for you to get it? Behold, the ark of the covenant of the Lord of all the earth passes over before you in Jordan. Now, therefore, take you 12 men out of the tribes of Israel, out of every tribe a man. And it shall come to pass, as soon as the soles of the feet of the priests that bear the ark of the Lord of all the earth, shall rest in the waters of the Jordan, that the waters of Jordan shall be cut off from the waters that come down from above, and they shall stand upon a heap. I'm not going to try and break down what it means by that, but it's basically saying, it's the same verbiage as in Genesis, where it says, I'm going to separate the waters from the waters above from the waters below. So what you got to understand about this is the Lord has changed this earth a few times. He's changed the composition, he's changed the dimension, and at this point we're probably in the most disgusting, downgraded, physical nonsense ever. This is where it's just humans, full of humans. A human is a spiritual monster. If you look it up, the word human, it breaks down to spiritual monster. So we're basically all spiritual monsters here, even the first fruits. I am a monster. I'm here to admit how disgusting I am compared to my spiritual self. What you see here is a frigging mess. And when we look out, when we see other humans, if you're not kind of disgusted by what you see, even the best of them, makes you wonder, wow, look at that very spiritual being. What happened? So I'm going to move on from that, because that's something you have to gain in the spirit. You got to understand what's happening here. So when it says, it'll come to pass as the soles of their feet of the priests bear the ark of the Lord of all the earth shall rest in the water. So what happened is, the priests have the ark, and as soon as their feet touch the water, and this is what my pastor brought out, I was like, wow, that's some amazing stuff about who has the power. And that's why I was saying last week, GMS, let the priests do their work. No one's crossing over until everyone gets in line. And GMS is forcing their way to the front of the line, and they might not even be crossing over. And they're trying to stand up and not letting us cross over. If you understand what I'm saying. It says it in the New Testament many times. You wicked Sadducees and Pharisees, you don't let the people come in, and then when they do come in, you don't let them go out, and you're blocking the doors and the gates of justice because you're perverting everything. And if you've listened to me for any time, you know that I'm not going to go back there and say it exactly how it says, because if you don't know that idea, it's the idea that matters. It's the idea that these wicked Sadducees and Pharisees were claiming to stand for God, but they were actually blocking the path. So this story is another example of these wicked personages that are standing against the people of the Lord and not getting themselves. They talk about order and blah blah blah, but they're the ones that are out of order. So I'm at 28 right now. I'll come back and we'll finish this story of the Israelites crossing over the Jordan and entering into a new paradigm. It's a completely new paradigm. He's restarting. He's like restarting, going, okay, this is the next chapter of the story, and we got to make sure everyone is in the spirit that they're supposed to be in to go forward. If you understand what I'm saying, he changes the spirit. He brings order to this march across the Jordan, and when they cross over, they're crossing over into a new paradigm. So I'll be right back, and we'll finish talking about Joshua leading the people through the priests over the Jordan River.